My father came from Ireland and my mother came from Newcastle, and they met down in London, and Mum was a nurse. Dad was in the Irish Guards, so we lived in Army Barracks, which was a wonderful place to grow up because it was all enclosed. So us kids, as a tiny kid, I used to sort of just charge about. 2 older brothers, which made me a tomboy because I had to do whatever they did. Then we moved from there when I was about 4 or 5. We moved down into Kent to a new town that was being built and lived down there. Had a wonderful childhood down there. My first husband died when I was 22, and then I met Nigel, and he was working in Germany. So we lived in Germany, moving about, and I so missed the family at home because my father he was one of 10. So there was all my cousins and family in London and quite close. And I didn't see them all the time, but the fact that being abroad, you couldn't see them. If you did feel like going and having a party or whatever, you couldn't do it. And Germany's not far, so I don't know how people who move to Australia and stuff, that must be something that would be heartbreaking. It's something I could never contemplate. That was in the 70s. There was no computers or anything. It wasn't that long. Every couple of months we were home. Didn't phone from there because it was terribly expensive, and you often had delays on the phone. They would sort of try and get you through. I remember as a child, if you wanted to speak to somebody in America or anything like that, you had to book it and sort of wait for it, and then it didn't always work. So now, you can just pick it up and dial it, can't you? It's incredible. And came up here in 1990. Very different, much wetter, of course. The roads are so much better. A traffic jam up here is nothing. It's it's just 4 or 5 cars. When I travel down to London now, it's quite terrifying because jams everywhere. Loads of green spaces to walk. Never used to walk around our local park, but if you went anywhere further, it was a long drive. So we've always had dogs. So living here is lovely because I can just go out the back of my house, up onto the moors, up to Darwin Tower or across to Tockholes. And there's some beautiful walks. And it's just a nice place to be. I always think, London, it's a bit warmer and whatnot. But as I say, when I go back, it is a bit dry and dusty, and I wouldn't like to move back there. When we retired, we bought a static home down at Hastings, and within 6 months my husband couldn't walk around the lake. He had a big lake on it, so I was taking him into hospital for a triple bypass, and I collapsed on the way in and was taken to the cardiac unit at Eastbourne. So Nigel was in Brighton and I was in Eastbourne, and then since then Nigel's he's suffered from depression a bit. And he's had a few of these TIAs, which apparently do bring on depression. So I found I was relying on my daughter more and more for my social life, and I thought this isn't right on her. Because where I used to work near Manchester. So there was a group of girls there, but of course it's too far to sort of really form any real friendships. So I went to the Friends of the library, and somebody there mentioned a singing group that they'd had on and all this. So I thought, I'll give it a try. And it's been wonderful. My husband says, you're out more now than you were when you were working. I'm very grateful for the community living room. I think a lot of us there, I think, are a bit isolated at home, and getting together and doing stuff is good. It's really opened up my life, and I've made friends, and there's different activities that we do and we like and natter about. So it has been really, really good.